Hello everyone. So this is my Kindle which I purchased in the year 2015, maybe 2016. So it has been 7 years, more than 7 years I guess, when I purchased this. But in the last 7 years, I don't really think I read more than 10 books on this Kindle. Now I purchased this Kindle when I got into this habit of reading books. So I used to read books, but for some reason, in the last, especially in the last 2 years, or maybe 3 years, especially after COVID, I think I have stopped reading books completely. Yeah, I know it is not really a good thing, but uh, when I purchased this book around that time, I used to read books, and I also used to do things like learning French. I was also part of Toastmasters. So Toastmasters is basically a club, or I think it is an organization, international organization, where you can meet like-minded people, and they meet every week, and they follow a format. And the whole idea is to help each other improve their public speaking. So around that time, 7 or 8 years ago, I was basically doing things that I always wanted to do, like learning something new, like a new language, and basically um, focusing on things that I always wanted to do. And it was good. It was good phase, good time, and of course, I don't really learn French regularly, and I don't even go to Toastmasters. In fact, I joined Toastmasters, or I think I went to like a couple of sample or those. I think you can join or you can attend one of their session for free. It is not a free. It's not a free club that you can join. You have to pay for it, which is good because you are in a way limiting this to only those people who are serious about it. So I'm talking about Toastmasters because if you are trying to improve your public speaking, then you also have to focus on reading and, of course, reading books. So I think I last read the book on this Kindle around 2 years back when I used to go to London every day, and I used to basically carry it with me in my bag, and I used to spend, I think, 15-20 minutes, maybe half an hour every day reading a book from this, and I used to enjoy it. I think it's a nice way to consume content using a Kindle. It is not bad. I know it's not physical paper, it's not like a real book, but for me, I also have to worry about the convenience and not buying and carrying those books because it can be a bit of a pain to manage a lot of books. You have to basically find a place for them to store, and I think Kindle is great, especially for someone like me who is a bit more cautious about buying too many things. So let me show you how it looks like, and it is basically a very old version of Kindle without the backlight. And I think for me it works fine because I don't really read in the dark anyways. So far it is fine for me, and now I have decided uh, to basically go back to this very good habit of reading books. I think we all should read regularly. And if you want to read a book from this, it is actually not bad. In fact, it is quite good. So if you look at this particular book of mine, Mastering Jira 7, which I purchased, not purchased, I wrote it. So which I wrote in the year 2016. And I have this Kindle version of the book as well, not the whole book, I think a sample chapter. So it looks quite good, to be honest. I mean, good thing about Kindle is that if you have a Kindle format book, then it will take care of all the formatting, and if you have multiple paragraphs, and depending upon the font size, for example, in if I increase the font size like doing this gesture, it will of course just increase the font size for me. And for me, I think 5 or 6 is a good font size. I can read it, and at the same time, I don't really want it to be too big. So sometimes I reduce it because sometimes you need to be, because it's a bit annoying. Like imagine that you're reading a book like this and you are maybe standing. Maybe you don't really get a seat in the train, so you don't really want to click on it like again and again. You need like some time to consume the content. So it is a bit annoying if you're doing it every 2 seconds. So I think font size along with how many times you're clicking on the screen is something that you have to worry about, like the balance. But the readability is quite good, and you can also upload PDFs to your Kindle. So if you have, let us say, a Kindle account, you can of course purchase Kindles. For example, if I go to the home, by the way, you have to click on top here to basically enable this top menu, and you can of course go to the Kindle store from here. And if you go to Kindle store, you can see all the books that are recommended. And for some reason, it is showing me Tamil books, uh, but let me open one of the English one. So if you so I guess it is also like multi-language. I mean, it supports other languages, which is good, I guess. So this is one of the book, and you can see the images are not nicely displayed because it is supposed to be for basically text. So for consuming text-based content, especially if it is written in Kindle format, then it is wonderful. And if you're trying to read a technical book, then I'm not really sure if Kindle is the best way to read a technical book. But I mean, if I show you my book, which is basically Mastering Jira, it is a technical book, but it is wherever applicable. There are some code snippets, and there are also a lot of images, and those images, depending upon how nicely you have captured those images will display here fine. I'm not really saying great, but the images will be displayed here. For example, if you look at this code snippet, I mean, these are not really code snippets, but some SQL queries, so they are fine. I can understand what is happening here. And if you look at the images, even the images are not bad. So when you're writing a book, this is also for authors. If you're writing a book, don't really have a screenshot with the text which is not readable. So I think it is okay to have screenshots, but make sure you zoom into that particular portion of the screen so that the text is displayed. So this is again not massively um, great, but it is fine. It is um, not unreadable at all. So I thought I'll probably just uh, remind myself and also share with everyone. I think it is in a way I'm trying to motivate myself that yes, I will get back into this habit of reading books. And I think if you are considering purchasing a Kindle or maybe a similar device, I think you don't really have to purchase Kindle. There are a lot of similar devices. I think it is a nice way, especially uh, especially for someone like me who want to stay light. And uh, back in Delhi, I do have a lot of books. In fact, I have books from my entire school uh, classes. I mean, right from my nursery. I'm sure I have my nursery book somewhere. So I have like a lot of books back in Delhi, but I know it is a problem. So I've now switched to. I don't really think I have bought any physical uh, book in the last 5 or 6 years, like a fiction, non-fiction, or any motivational book. I have always tried to use Kindle, at least in the last few years. But the last 2 years were totally blank. It was basically in my drawer, and hopefully now I will use it. All right, that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you. Bye bye.